Hi, everyone. This is Robb Fahrion with the Sage Executive Podcast, where top executives share their sage advice. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the wise speak in few words. So let's get right to it. Question number 1, in a few sentences, would you mind telling us who you are and what it is you do?
Yes, I'm Elliott Holland, founding partner of Guardian Due Diligence. And what we do is we help single family offices and independent investors who are new to buying companies. We help them execute and get through their grueling due diligence process by managing that process for them, focused on finance, accounting, operations, and finance. So we act sort of like a corporate development person would act in a company and provide sort of Sherpa-like services to help people get through an acquisition.
Awesome. Elliot, thanks so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Second question, what would you say is the best thing about being a leader in business and having a role as a kind of top level partner in your organization?
Well, over the years, I've had plenty of mentees, and some of them have actually surpassed me, which I actually love. And I think the best part about leadership is that the people who you impact are able to take in what you're able to give them and sort of flourish, surpass, go do great things, show up in the world again, work with you in the future. And so sort of the investment that you make in the sort of leadership that you're giving others ends up coming back to you in different ways. It might not come directly, but it comes to sort of positive value in the world.
I love that. Yeah, I used to actually coach high school football, and I was decent, but it was always great seeing those players just be, man, this guy's 10 times better than I ever was.
That's right. And that was my guy. I taught him how to, block.
Exactly.
I put him on his back then. I wouldn't go at him now.
That's right. Question number 3, Elliot, doing great. So we hear from a lot of other executives that acquiring new business and new clients can be challenging, especially with so much noise and so many competitors in the space. I was just curious on what your thoughts are on new business acquisition and how you go about handling that.
Sure. I would say I came out as an independent advisor probably 3 years ago, and I tell you, it was humbling understanding how to get into the seat of acquiring new customers. So really, I had to do the humbling work of, 8 years past, Harvard MBA. Now it's time to go crack out the Marketing 101 manual and figure out how to do customer personas, how to think about digital marketing, how to think about traditional marketing, how to think about talk tracks, how to think about marketing materials and all the rest. Right. I think it is tough. And I think the problem is that we're so used to how can it scale? How can it scale? How can it scale? Make it quick. But we oftentimes forget about how do I make it good for one single person and then figure out how that person scales. Right. And so I think it is tough. It's not easy, but it's worth every ounce of effort, in my opinion.
I love that. Yeah. So having the individual customer scale versus going out and getting 10 customers that, we might not be able to provide quality service for. That's great. Question number 4 now, moving on. What piece of sage advice, and this is where you shine for everyone else watching this show, would you give to other executives and business leaders that are out there?
So I'll focus mine on business acquisition because that's what I know best. I don't want to go into ballroom dancing. That wouldn't be relevant. So for acquisitions, I think it's really important that you understand what you're buying and recognize that the seller at that point has probably the highest motivation of any given time to misrepresent the truth. And here's why. For every dollar of profit that they actually are able to slip into your analysis, they're going to get 4 to 8 times that in value, and you're going to lose 4 to 8 times that in price. So you really need to be good at doing diligence, or you need to be very good at finding your advisors. And so people find a deal and they fall in love with it. People find the whole deal executing process and they love it. And they can lose a lot of money forgetting that it's a very grueling process that you shouldn't go into by yourself if you don't have a lot of experience.
Okay. I love that. That's great. Question number 5 now. What other top executives like yourself, obviously, would you like to acknowledge as leaders in the space and someone that we could have on the podcast that would also provide value to our viewers?
Sure. I'll give you one of my mentors turned colleagues, Annabelle Mendez, who I met at Procter & Gamble years and years ago, and now she has her own business. Another one is my close friend, Kyle Sale, who has had a very illustrious career in and around technology and investments. I think both of them would be great.
Perfect. Really appreciate that. And then to wrap up, so this is a fun one, and we've had answers ranging all across the board from wearing a cowboy hat at the office to just having a drink at the end of the day. But as a fun one, after a win, and it could be personal, business related, whatever it may be, what do you like to do to celebrate?
And my friends know this well. I'm going to the mountains to hang out.
There we go.
I'm going to a rooftop bar with my friends if I can find one. And I'm barbecuing and talking as much trash as I possibly can with people that I love.
That sounds amazing. What particular mountain?
I like the Blue Ridge Mountains here in North Georgia and North Carolina. I just got back from Highlands, North Carolina 2 weeks ago, and I was up in North Georgia the week before. So
love it.
I have my four-wheeler and we'll go.
There we go. Very cool. All right. Well, Elliot, hey, thank you so much for being on. Last piece, how can people find out more about you, about your business, best way to contact you? Go ahead and give that information. Would love to put that out there for you.
Absolutely. You can find out all about me at guardianduediligence.com, just as it sounds, or on LinkedIn, just linkedin.com/n/Elliott, ELLIOTT Holland, like the country. So perfect. Either one of those places you can find me, and I'm very responsive at both places.
There we go. Awesome. Perfect. Well, thanks again, Elliot. Everyone, my name is Robb Fahrion. This is the Sage Executive Podcast. For more insights and to check out more episodes of our show, head to flyingvgroup.com/podcast. Thanks so much for being on the show, Elliot. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.